Hello everybody, welcome back to Start McCleary. I'm Sean, and today we are going to go back to our series of drivers. And today I'm going to talk about the driver that is nicknamed the Mayor, and that is Jeff Burton. We're going to talk about his career, talk about his stats, talk about his success, talk about how he started from the bottom to the top, and all that good stuff. So, why don't we get started? Jeff Burton was born on June 29, 1967 in South Boston, Virginia to John Burton, and I couldn't get any information on the mother. Not much is known about Jeff Burton's early life, so I'm just going to talk about his NASCAR career. But in his early NASCAR career, Burton began driving for a handful of races in the Busch Series in 1988, driving the car that was owned by his father. He drove for 5 races in his first year in NASCAR, and his very first start was at Martinsville, where he finished 28th. However, in the next 4 starts, he had an average finish of no worse than 17th, even finishing 11th in a couple of races. After finding that kind of success in the Busch Series part-time in 88, Jeff Burton was able to go full-time in the Busch Series in 1989, competing for Rookie of the Year honors. Jeff Burton drove for 27 of the 29 races, and he actually got his first top 10 at the track where he started his career at Martinsville. He also had two top 5s and 5 more top 10s throughout the year. And Jeff Burton did not win. However, he kind of struggled throughout the year. Jeff Burton also had several DNFs during the course of the year and finished 13th in points. But this was to change in this following year. In 1990, Jeff Burton left his dad's team to drive for Ard Motorsports and was able to compete for every single event. However, Jeff Burton still struggled throughout the year, having several DNFs. However, at the near end of the season, Jeff Burton got his very first win at the track where he got his first start and his first top 10. Once again at Martinsville. However, in the end, he finished 2 spots worse than he did in his first year, finishing 15th in points. Also, in 1990, he had 3 top 5s and only 5 top 10s throughout the year. In 1991, Jeff Burton moved to a different team, driving for J&J Racing, the number 99 Chevrolet. However, he expected the struggles to be gone. Unfortunately, the struggles were still there, still having several DNFs throughout the course of the year. However, he did manage to get a win and actually led the most laps at South Boston, but he was able to also finish better in the points than he did in the previous 2 years, having 3 top 5s and 10 top 10s, but still finished below the top 10, finishing 12th in points. In 1992, Jeff Burton once again went to a different team for Philmar Racing, driving the number 8 Oldsmobile. However, this was a lot better year than it was in the previous 3 years. He was able to finish in the top 10 in points for the first time in his career, and was able to get one more win at New Hampshire. Throughout the course, so this was considered Jeff Burton's breakout year in NASCAR, with having 4 top 5s and 10 top 10s, and staying consistent throughout the year. Unfortunately, that magic that he had in 92 vanished in 1993. Even though the first half of the year he was really consistent, finishing in the top 10 regularly, even getting a win there. However, in the second half of the year, he began to struggle, having a handful of DNFs and also finishing more into the 20s. And as a result, throughout the season, he only had 3 top 5s and 10 top 10s, which was the same amount of top 10s he had in 92, but he finished far less in points, finishing 14th in points, which was the lowest since 1990, where he finished 15th. 93 also wasn't as bad in Burton, as he was able to make his Winston Cup debut in the 1993 New Hampshire race, driving for Fillmore Racing, driving the number 0 Ford. However, Jeff Burton struggled and eventually wrecked in the middle of the race, finishing 37th. However, despite the setbacks that Jeff Burton had in the Busch Series all those years, he was able to get a full-time ride in the Winston Cup Series in 1994, driving the number 8 Ford for the Stavola brothers. In his first year in the Cup Series, Jeff Burton had one DNQ at Richmond and got his first top 5 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He also got another top 5 at Pocono and got his last top 10 at Darlington. And like in the Busch Series, Jeff Burton struggled throughout the year. Once again, struggled with wrecking the car, finishing mostly in the 20s, and unfortunately finished a really low 30th in points. However, this isn't as bad as the team that he was in wasn't in the best equipment and was able to return the team in the following year. However, in 1995, it was a lot worse. Having 2 DNQs at Martinsville and North Wilkesboro, basically struggling to be consistent, finishing mostly in the 20s throughout the season, having only one top 5 at Rockingham and one top 10 at Bristol, and finished a career low 32nd in points. People were questioning at this time, was Jeff Burton a bust, or should they give him another chance? Nobody knew at the time. And even Jeff Burton knew at that time they didn't think he was going to get another chance. Until this day happened right here. Somewhere in late 95, Jeff Burton was able to get another chance for Roush Racing in 1996, driving the number 99 Exide Batteries Ford. However, in his first year, he was more consistent in the previous 2 years. However, he had one DNQ at Atlanta and he was winless. But throughout the season, he was able to get 6 top 5s and 12 top 10s, which was a lot more than he had in the previous 2 seasons combined. However, it was low at that time, especially for Roush standards. But he didn't give up, and he was able to go for another year. But people thought he was not going to make it at that time until the next year happened.